Hi friends, welcome to Navkar Digital Institute, India's first virtual learning platform for professional coaching. My name is Dhaval Gandhi. I am director of this institute, and today we are going to talk about the importance of planning, friends. At Navkar we have taken responsibility to record a series of shows on guiding students across India, all students, on how you should make a preparation so that you can clear your exam in first attempt. And one of the most important talk show of that is importance of planning. And today's session is purely dedicated to importance of planning, friends. Very happy and very delighted to say that more than 2 lakh students are studying on Navkar platform today, and all of them are following this planning component. And today on YouTube, I am sharing it with you also so that you also understand the importance of planning. And when I talk about the planning, friends, I am referring to 3 different perspectives. The first perspective is a preparation level planning. That is what we are doing throughout the course. For example, if you are a CA final student, you need a 3 years planning. If you are an intermediate student, probably you need a 1 year planning. And if you are a foundation student, maybe you need 6 months or 9 months or whatever period you have, you need to plan that. So that is first is the planning for preparation part. Then what you need is a revision planning. And that is where I am talking about last 1 day or 1.5 day or 2 days, whatever you have a day before your exam. For example, if you have exam on, let's say the CA final exams are there on alternative days. So how do you plan last 1.5 day or last 2 days so that you can write your paper in a best way? And third is your actual exam planning. And I'll explain you what do I mean by each level planning, friends. Let us first talk about the planning of the preparation perspective. So technically speaking, if you are a foundation or an intermediate or a final student, you need to ensure that you plan your entire time available. For example, if you are a CA final student, what we have seen is in many cases that students start preparing in last 6 months or students start preparing in last 1 year. Now technically what goes wrong over here is, in Gujarat, in Ahmedabad, in Navkar, what we actually do in our classroom model is, though your CA final attempt is after 3 years, we teach you for the entire 3 years period. Now, technically speaking, as compared to that, many students are there on pan-India basis who try and study their CA final in last 6 months only. Now, what advantage is there is actual available period. You try and understand, if I start studying today and my exam is after 3 years, and if I start studying today and my exam is after 6 months, how much time I am getting in both the cases. Now, if I am supposed to complete that in 6 months, obviously I'll do crashing everywhere. I'll try and do in a minimum possible way. I'll try and do only few examples. I'll try and do only few components. Where as compared to that, if I have 3 years, then technically try and understand the results. So when you are actually studying, try and use the maximum available period rather than doing just last minute study. Then technically you are doing wrong. So first thing is, when you are planning your preparation, it should be throughout the period. It should be throughout the available time. It should not be that I'll study in last 6 months, I'll study in last 3 months. I agree with one point that yes, articleship is equally important. So technically, what you should do is, if you are, let's say, every day spending 8 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours in articleship, okay, in initial period, you start studying 2 hours a day. You start studying 3 hours a day. Okay, I'll also say that in initial period, you should go for a practical subjects. In theory, obviously, if you study on first day and then you will try and revise on last day, you may not be able to gel up. You may not be able to remember things. So technically, what you should do is, in initial period, when you are studying in 3 years, in initial period, you should start studying practicals and then you should move over to theory. But please try and understand that divide your study over a period of 3 years rather than just doing in 6 months. And technically, that's where the result matters. Because if I study over a, better period, obviously I am going to do it 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, and obviously that is going to create an impact in my result. So use the maximum available period. That's the first advice. The second point which I always share to our students is, have you planned your last 1.5 day or have you planned your last 2 days? See, I'll tell you where your result gets affected. Let us say I have actually prepared for the entire available period. Let's say if I am an intermediate, I have prepared entire 1 year, I have taken entire 1 year and I have studied it thoroughly. Now the point is, if I am studying in 3 years, I have prepared entire 3 years. If I am an intermediate, I have prepared entire 1 year, I have taken entire 1 year and I have studied it thoroughly. Now the point is, if I am studying in 3 years, I have prepared entire 1 year, I have taken entire 1 year and I have studied it thoroughly. Now the point is, if we have a human tendency, and this is something which we are following from our school days, a day before exam, everything has to be revised. Now, if I'm not able to revise everything a day before exam, what will happen is, the moment I'll step in my exam hall or exam center, I'm not feeling confident. Reason, I'm not revised everything in last 1.5 days. Now, that is where the problem starts. So, see, what happens is, if you are not prepared, then whatever revision you do in last day probably is not going to help you. If you are prepared, but on last 1.5 day you are not able to revise things, then again you are going to invite problem. So, when we are planning for the preparation part, we should also plan for revision part. You should ensure you should have maybe your notes available, or in your material you should have done marking, or whatever is option available. But point is that, or you should have selected topics. For example, if some topic is very, very important, then yes, you should have given priority to that. And the other topics which may not be important, probably you might have done only basics of that. But somewhere down the line, you should have an on-paper planning that how are you going to revise this subject or this topic in last 1.5 days, because that matters a lot. So technically, first point I said is, planning should be very clearly for preparation, and it should be throughout the period rather than last time or last few days or last few months available. Second, where I said is, planning should be very clear with regard to last 1.5 day or last 2 days, that is a day before exam or whatever period is available. And the third thing, and that is something which we always tell to our students, and that is the 3 hours of exam planning. Now someone would say, sir, how can I plan my 3 hours of exam? Technically, you can, and you should also. For example, if you are, let's say, talk about a subject like taxation, or let's say talk about a subject like accounts. Accounts, I would say it is better option. When I talk about accounts, so obviously there are going to be 10 chapters, 12 chapters, 20 chapters. The point is, you may be good with 5 of them, you may be average with probably 10 of them, and with regard to last 5, you may not be excellent. Now the point is that how you should plan your exam, that it will help you. So I'll tell you what I'll do. If I say that out of 20 chapters, I'm very good with 5, and then 10 is average. So what I would genuinely do is, I will not start writing the paper in the manner in which ACCA is giving. So I'll not write first question 1A. I'll not write question 1B. I'll not write question 1C. I'll not write question 1D. I'm not going to write the paper in the order in which ACCA gives me. I'm going to write the paper in the manner in which I feel confident. The first 5 chapters where I'm very, very confident, it can be 2nd chapter, it can be 10th chapter, it can be 15th chapter, it can be 20th chapter. The chapters with which I'm confident, I'll always write answers of those first in exam. I'll tell you a reason behind that. The important point is, if my first power play goes well, try and understand what I can do in the remaining period. Friends, try and gain this. It is basically a psychological game. Your 3 hours of paper is your psychological game. If in first half an hour or first 1 hour you produce extraordinary result, your last 2 hours is going to be better. So you should do what is, you should first start writing the paper with the chapter for which you feel the most confident. Then second best, then third best, then fourth best, then fifth best. And in this way, if you do it, now someone would straight away ask me question saying that, sir, how can I do this? Because we have to follow the question series. And I agree with that. See, obviously when you will write question 1A, obviously the next has to be question 1B, then question 1C, and then question 1D. I agree with that. So if someone would be of the opinion, sir, one of the chapter which I like most is there in question 2C. Then the next best chapter which I like most is there in question 3A. Then the next best chapter that I like is there in question 4C. Then how should I do it? Friends, is there anywhere written that you cannot ask supplementary in first half an hour or in first 10-15 minutes? What I would do is, if I am appearing in paper, is I'll first start with question 2C in the main supplementary. Then what I'll do is, if I'm supposed to attend next question 3A, so either I leave in between those pages, let's say 5 pages. If I think that 5 pages are required to answer that, probably I leave 6. or I'll leave 7 and I'll straight away write next as question 3A. And if you cannot count number of pages, I'll straight away ask for a new supplementary, and in new supplementary I'll straight away write question 3A. Then after that, if I'm writing question 4D, so I'll accordingly count number of pages and straight away I'll go to question 4D, and if I cannot count pages, I'll straight away ask for another supplementary. There is no rule which says that you cannot ask for multiple supplementaries. Acha, if someone is of the opinion, sir, if I'll ask for this many supplementaries, lot of pages will get blank, and wastage of paper and human ground and environmental issues. Friends, everything is correct, but not correct when you are thinking of your future. For very clearly, you are thinking of your most important exam of your life, and in that, if you will go in this moral grounds and emotional grounds, I'm saying that probably you will ruin your future. So let's not go into all this aspect, and let's write the paper in which we are feeling most comfortable. And I'll tell you, your result will be different. And if you really want to try it, try this same in prelims. For example, like November 20 students, we are starting prelim from September 1st week or September 2nd week. The exam series has been already launched. It is available. You can buy it. Now, in that same way, write all the answers, this pattern or this methodology. And I am very sure if you will write in first prelim in September, if you will write in second prelim, which we are again planning in October, then I am pretty sure that in November when you will go and write paper in ICI, your result is going to be quite different. Your result is going to be as per your requirement. Because these three plannings are ultimately going to create your result. Planning number 1, we are talking about your preparation. Use entire period available. Planning number 2, your revision. Do the best planning for this so that you can revise in a best possible manner, and your result will be obviously different. And third, write the paper in which you are comfortable rather than writing the paper in which ICI provides it. If you plan all these three, I'm telling you, based on my experience, I'm almost having an experience of more than 10 years of teaching. And precisely, I am also carrying the 23 years plus experience of Navkar Institute. Let me be very clear, friends. Do this. We are at Navkar giving you an assurance your result will be different. And that's the same advice which we have given to all our NDI students. There are more than 2 lakh, as I said, which are our NDI students. So please follow the same, and we are guaranteeing you your result will be different. And thank you for reposing your trust on Navkar, friends. And stay safe, stay home, and wherever you are staying, just enjoy the life. God bless you from the side of Navkar Digital Institute. Thank you.
If you like this video, share it with your friends. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to watch more such videos and learn from our expert faculty members. Press the bell icon to get regular notifications whenever we upload a new video. Download NDI mobile app to get complete CA course online. We value your support. Thank you for watching.